Hi everybody, this is week 3 of the Oval Occasions coffee and card at home suite, whatever you want to call it. So I'm showing you how to make this simple square card today. So the card is using a Highland Heather card base, and then we've got a piece of just jade which has been punched out with the rectangular postage stamp punch. Then we need a scrap of Whisper White, which we'll be using to cut out sentiment, and then a little bit of twine. I think this is the linen thread that we're using, and then the inks that we're using are Highland Heather, which coordinates with the cardstock, and just Memento Black. And then for colouring in on those little bits, I've got Highland Heather here, I've also got Gorgeous Grape, and I've got Granny Apple Green in the Stampin' White markers. And then obviously your normal basic toolkit like glue, dimensionals and some scissors. So let's make a start on making the card. So I'm just going to put those bits out of the way for a second. So first of all, I'm going to take my card base and just burnish my fold with a bone folder. And then I'm going to keep it folded over to stamp my background. So I'm using the really tiny 4-leaf clover from the Oval Occasions set. So you can see if I bring that in, that's the sentiment image there. The sentiment we're going to be using is this one here, which fits into the larger oval shape on the double oval punch. So I'm just going to stamp lots of 4-leaf clovers. I did a bit of a mixture. I did some that were sort of full strength ink and some where I stamped off, all at different angles. You're just kind of trying to cover the card, and I'm going off the edge too. And you can put as many on as you like, really. Just remember to turn the stamp, because it just be a bit more interesting, and perhaps be intentional with sort of where you put them, because sometimes if you try and space them out too perfectly, it almost looks too perfect. So I'm kind of deliberately making some of them look like they are together. Okay, so that is that bit done, and then we can pop that to the side for a minute. So we don't need that ink now. So now we're going to get our scrap of Whisper White, and we are getting our sentiment, which says "So lucky to know you," and I'm just going to ink that up. Just double check that I've got plenty of ink on there, and then I'm going to stamp that on there. There we go. And I think I'm going to colour it in before I cut it out, but it doesn't matter if you want to do it the other way round. So I'm using stamping blends for this, but you can use whatever colouring tools you've got. So if you wanted to use marker pens, blends, ink with a blender pen, watercolour pencils, whatever you feel like really. So I'm just using the darker purple, and I'm using the thicker end just because it's a bit quicker. Then with my lighter purple, I'm just going to pick up those little small dots on the end. And then with my green, I'm just going to colour in my leaf. So it's super quick bit of colouring, nothing too fiddly. It's quite a quick and easy card to make, this one, to be honest. And then we're going to use the double oval punch, and it's the scalloped edge, the bigger one, that is going to cut this out. Just going to put that in and line it up and punch that out. Just get rid of that. There we go, we've got our sentiment ready. So now if I just bring back my original card, you're just going to see how we're going to layer all of that up. So I'll just pop that there so you can see it. So first of all, we're going to attach the Just Jade rectangle, which has already been cut for you, with the postage stamp punch, which we actually used last month in Coffee and Cards. So some of you might have that if you purchased it. And to be honest, you can put this anywhere on your card base that you'd like. I went up in the top corner there. I might go the bottom corner this time just to make it a bit different. You could also change slightly how you have your bit stuck on. If you wanted to, you could even have it so that your card opens that way. So there's a few different variations that you could do. I'm just going to use my grid lines either side of my image there just to help me with lining it up. Okay, I think that's straight. Then we're just going to use a few dimensionals just to attach the sentiment on. I'm going to go for 4 just so that it doesn't sort of sag in the middle. Sometimes if you don't use enough, that can happen. Everything just sags in the middle and it doesn't look quite so nice. So sometimes you're best to use slightly more. Then that is going to be stuck so that it goes in the middle. And then the final bit is to tie a bow with your twine. So I'm making 2 bunny ears and I'm going to cross those over, pull that through, and you just then hold your knot and pull an end and pull tight on both the loops. Hold your knot, pull both loops, hold your knot and pull, so that you're just adjusting the length of each of those loops. Then when you're happy with the length that you've got, I think I'm going to stick mine on that side on this one. You can chop off the end and then we're just going to stick it on with a glue dot. So I'm just going to get my glue dot, I'm going to stick my knot on, pull it off, and your glue dot will be a little bit bigger than your ribbon, so I'm just going to squish it a little bit and then stick that on there. And then this bit here I think needs just trimming, so then make that bit a bit shorter, and there we have our finished cards. So you can see they're slightly different with where I've put them, but essentially using the same idea in a nice quick card that you could churn out quite a few of those if you needed to in a hurry. So just a reminder of what we've used. We've used Highland Heather as our card base with a little bit of Just Jade for our rectangle and Whisper White for our sentiment. We used a bit of linen thread for the bow. Our inks were Highland Heather for the 4-leaf clover and Memento Black for the sentiment. A little bit of colouring in, I used Stampin' White markers, and then obviously adhesives, I used Tombow and dimensionals. And the stamp set that I've used is the Oval Occasions, which coordinates with the double oval punch. So if there's any more information you need about any of those, or if you'd like to place an order for any of those, then please do get in touch via my Facebook page, which is Claire's Craft Store, and I'll do my best to help you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.